Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please stand for the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable John Key. Thank you very much. Please be seated.
Eke panuku, eke takaroa, ko tā kina takawa. Ko tā kina takawa, ko takawa tuatahi, ko tā kina takawa, ko takawa tuarua, ko tā kina takawa, ko takawa tuatoru. Ko tā kina takawa, ko takawa tua waru, ko tā kina takawa, ko takawa tua kiwaka, ko tā kina takawa, ko takawa tua iwa. Ko tā kina takawa. Welcome to Te Pito Te Ao, John Keys. We call it the centre of the universe. And welcome to this beautiful sunny day. So we will hear your, obviously, we'll hear your words of wisdom, and also enjoy our people's enjoyment they had this morning when we opened up this whare. And naturally the children have enjoyed it already too. So there is the harbour. As you look out there, we've got that beautiful harbour that you've sojourned on, I might add. And we do appreciate you being here. So nō reira kia tau te rangi mare ki o Hawaii te roko. Kia ko tahia e tātou katoa. Me hiri ahau e tāri ko te kākai. Kia ora rā.
A tēnā rā koutou pō waita ko tō tātou matu tīpuna. Ka me nui ki te mihi atu ki tō tātou matu nui te raki, ko e te timataka me te whakaute ki o tau katoa. Nō reira ka mihi au ki te kaihomai o ka mea pai katoa. A ka maumahara mātou ki a rātou. Ka hoki maumahara o Lockie Griffin. Nō reira e Lockie, e haere atu rā ki te pā te whakawairua, e takoto mai. Nō reira e te mana whenua rāpaki o te raki whakaputa, mihi mai karaka mai, me tō mihi whakatau o te ope whakaeke o te whare paramata. Kia koe i te rakatira nunui o hone ki. Tēnā koe. E mihi atu o te mana whakawā o te māngai o te whare paramata, e Right Honourable Rawiri Carter. Nō reira, tēnei te mihi o te rōpū reipa, e Ruth, e kia koe. E nō reira, e koutou rā, e mihi atu kia koutou katoa. Kia ora.
Ina mana, ina reo, ina iwi o te motu, no mai hari mai. Hari mai ke ranga o tēnei marae, moria mai na mate. Kia tangi ai tātou katoa. No rira, tēnā koutou katoa. Good afternoon and welcome everybody. My name is Glenn Jones. I'm a former board member and Vice President of the Cholmondeley Children's Centre, and I'm honoured and privileged to be the Master of Ceremonies on this wonderful occasion. First, I'd like to acknowledge the presence here of a number of our very distinguished guests. First, the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable John Key, welcome. To the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Right Honourable David Carter. To the Members of Parliament here today, the Honourable Ruth Dyson and Nuk Karako. To the board members and life members of Cholmondeley, welcome and thank you for coming. Dame Phyllis Goodhart. Also to Giovanna and Ayana, two of the children from Cholmondeley who will have an important part in this opening ceremony. I welcome both of you here today as well. And I welcome all of our other distinguished guests, donors and supporters of Cholmondeley who have made this wonderful day and this wonderful facility welcome. Just a couple of apologies of people who would have liked to be here that I should acknowledge. To Securi Burke, the patron of Cholmondeley Children's Centre, gives his apology Richard Ballantyne, the chair of the Cholmondeley Foundation, and to Sheila Thompson, a long-time supporter of this wonderful organisation. A couple of housekeeping matters now, please. Now would be the appropriate time to turn your cell phone off or onto silent if you haven't already. If there is an emergency fire event, then sounders or alarms will sound to let you know to evacuate the building. Please exit the building from the nearest fire exit and meet at our assembly point, which is out in front of the garages in front of the car park. If there's an earthquake, although most of us are outside thankfully, but assume the drop, cover and hold position until the earthquake's passed, and then treat it as if it was a fire alarm, and again we assemble out in the car park in front of the garages. Please don't enter any part of the building where there is a sign that says do not enter. In terms of the toilets, there are toilets available at this end of the building, also in the administration block, and there are some temporary toilets by the white gates that most of you came in. It's very hot today. There's not a lot of breeze inside. If any of you feel a faint coming on or need to get out of the sun, you're very welcome. Just get up and move inside. You can see the ceremony from inside either by standing and looking live, or there is a screen that's actually beaming the ceremony into the building. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Kerry Delica, the President of Cholmondeley Children's Centre, to say a few words.
Ena mana, ena reo, ena iwi o te motu. No mai hari mai, no reira. Tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. The Right Honourable John Key, distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen and life members. I'd like to thank mana whenua for their awhi of this day. Tēnā koe Riki, tēnā koe Nook. Thank you, Prime Minister, for giving of your time to be here today. When we read of where you've been of late, we are indeed very privileged to have you here for this very special milestone for Cholmondeley, and I think the appropriate words are probably welcome home. What a wonderful day in so many ways. The weather, this beautiful, stunning new facility, and a chance to welcome you, our Cholmondeley family, back to Cholmondeley Lane. And you are our Cholmondeley family. For without each and every one of you, this facility would not exist. Without you, we would not have raised the funds to rebuild or indeed to operate. This is your facility. This is a facility that will continue to provide planned respite and emergency care to children in crisis in the years to come. Today is the culmination of a journey that became necessary in February 2011, that began financially in March 2013 when we launched our capital fundraising campaign at Sir Miles Warren's beautiful homestead at Ahunatahi, and it began construction-wise in July 2014 and in earnest in October 2014 when our building consent came through. Now, 12 months later, we are back. The children are back, the neighbours are happy, we have this wonderful facility and it is debt-free. There are so many to thank that it's impossible to cover everybody, but I do want to pay special tribute to a few. Firstly, to City Care Construction and to the various subcontractors who worked on the job. To Sean Boland from City Care and his team, thank you for such a great job, on time and on budget. There won't be too many projects in the Christchurch rebuild that achieve that. From the day you educated your workers as to what Cholmondeley was about, we have seen you building for the children this wonderful new facility. To you all, including the 10 workers who are actually past Cholmondeley children, thank you so much. To Ross Maguire and Ben and Harford, our architects, you told us this would look special, and it is. Thank you for your contribution and dedication to this wonderful facility. As with City Care, you embraced the project for what it was, and your expertise and your dedication to the project have contributed greatly to the final outcome. To John Sinclair, our project manager, your wisdom and guidance has also been very instrumental in the outcome, and how I'm going to miss those detailed minutes that followed every meeting. To David Johnston, Jill Hay and the board's property committee, including you, Nook, before you decided that Wellington was a better place to be, Thank you for the many hours of voluntary time that you gave to this project. To you, David, you took on the leadership of the committee when it was needed, and I greatly appreciate that. Jill, your contribution in so many ways, including chairing the committee that organised this opening event today, has been fantastic. To my board, who have had some interesting moments, but who weren't afraid to discuss and make some difficult decisions throughout the project, thank you. To Shane, the staff and management of Cholmondeley, thank you for not only your input into the design of this facility, to the furnishing of the interior and for the work that you have done in getting ready for today, but more importantly, thank you for keeping Cholmondeley going. Shane, to you in particular, the time that you've put into the rebuild and the constant interruptions you've had, thank you, it is appreciated. Like much of Christchurch, we had a crisis in February 2011, but with the help of a facility that was available at Living Springs, and thank you to Dennis Aldridge, who's here today, and the willingness of the staff to work both at a split venue but also in different conditions, Cholmondeley has survived. And we owe you all a big thank you for that contribution. And in mentioning Living Springs, can I say again a huge thank you to the Dublin Street Trust. And Jeff and Claire, along with the CEO Nettles Lamont, are here today, who after our insurance support ran out, picked up the cost of operating out of Living Springs for most of the remaining time that we were there. As you walk through Claire's walkway between the dormitory and the dining room, think of the support that we are extremely grateful for from the Dublin Street Trust. Then there is the Capital campaign, led by our contractor Sarah Barrow, and thank you for your huge effort, Sarah, and a committee comprising myself, Malcolm Hudson, Richard Ballantyne, Shane Murdoch, along with Lady Barbara Stewart and Janine Morell-Gunn, we set out to raise the funds required to rebuild. In 18 months, we were well into the last million required when news of a legacy that had been left to the centre through our foundation led us to wind the campaign up. We had over 300 individuals, trusts and organisations donating in cash or in kind. Personally, I loved being involved in that campaign. I had the privilege of meeting some wonderfully generous people. The pleasure in that regard was all mine. It's impossible to mention all of the donors, but I urge you to have a look at the mural created by the children in the reception area of the administration building behind me, which recognises all our donors, and also at the various signs of organisations that have donated rooms or sponsored the various wings. I would like to make mention, though, of the Christchurch Earthquake Appeal Trust, Lion Foundation, New Zealand Community Trust, and the Canterbury Community Trust for their tremendous support of the project, and also Rotary, particularly Riccarton and Newmarket, and the Lombardy Trust, who have been great supporters of Cholmondeley through their biannual sculpture on the peninsula. To all of those who have donated, be it to the Capital campaign or to our normal operations, which see us raising in excess of $1 million per annum to operate, thank you. I hope you feel as proud of this new facility as we do. Then as we neared the end of the Capital campaign, came the most stunning news that I've had in my 10 years on the board of Cholmondeley. News that the late Cyril Smith had left a significant legacy to the Cholmondeley Foundation to be used for buildings and maintenance. This meant that between the funds we had raised and the legacy, we were able to cover the total cost of the rebuild, and without going into our other funds. A fantastic outcome. I'm delighted to welcome here today Cyril's wife Jane, along with Hilton, Deborah, Erica and other members of the Smith family. We have dedicated this courtyard area that you are sitting in to the memory of Cyril Leonard Smith, and the large rock in the far right-hand corner is our memorial to Cyril, with the plaque depicting the family's own words. Secret squirrel space, so that children who need time and space in a peaceful, nurturing environment can find it here. Jane, to you and your family, I hope this space brings memories of a wonderful man, and that you will all treasure in the years to come the huge contribution that his gesture has made to the children of Canterbury. Thank you. Finally, I must mention a man who to me will always epitomise Cholmondeley, a man who has given me inspiration throughout my time on the board, the grand old man of Cholmondeley, Lockie Griffin. For nearly 70 years, Lockie gave of his time to Cholmondeley, 50 of those on the board. We were delighted he was able to perform the turning of the first sod with Sir Miles Warren, but sadly he was unable to hold long enough to make it here today. There will never be another Lockie Griffin, and we are delighted to advise of the placement of a chair made from the timber of the old homestead, currently on the deck off the lounge next to Lockie's lawn, as our permanent memorial to the wonderful contribution that Lockie made to Cholmondeley over the years. The chair contains a plaque, the words of which came from the family, and Janet, Paula and Peter and your families, we hope too that you will come and visit and sit in the grand old man's chair and remember just what a contribution he made. Ladies and gentlemen, Lockie would be thrilled with the outcome of our rebuild of a facility for the children of Canterbury. We obviously are, as I'm sure you all will be too. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Shane Murdoch, Chief Executive of Cholmondeley.
Ena mana, ena reo, e roranga tērā mā, tēnā koutou katoa. Ena mate haere atu rā. Ena iwi e hui nei tēnā koutou. Ena marahiri no mai haere mai ki tēnei hui, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Prime Minister, the Right Honourable John Key, Ayana and Giovanna, and your families who are here today, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, it is so good to see you all here today, I can't tell you. This last day of our earthquake recovery. It's hard to believe that it was over 4 years ago that the original Cholmondeley Children's Memorial Home was irreparably damaged in the earthquake of February 22nd, 2011. Like for so many that day, it's forever etched in my memory. And it was an incredibly sad and stressful time for us all. Part of my mihi was acknowledging those who are no longer with us. And that includes those who lost their lives on that fateful and subsequent days. Donna, Lockie, Cyril, Warren. On February the 22nd, the journey of rebuilding a new Cholmondeley Children's Centre began. Even if that was the furthest from our minds, as our staff worked tirelessly to ensure the children got home safely to their families and they got back to theirs. And once that was complete, after a few days, we were able to ask, what's next? Having had a dress rehearsal for a few days in September 2010, our immediate option was relocating was contacting my new coffee buddy, Dennis Aldridge at Living Springs. We knew it was going to be for some time, a quick one-page tenancy agreement which took about 10 minutes, and we were back up and running from Belbed Heights by mid-March. And then again, we were able to ask, what's next? What was next was the right decision by our board to rebuild, and the beginning of the design process. On reflection, the anchor point for thinking about the design began in 2010. After a major restructure of the organisation, a new vision was created to guide us forward strategically, value our children. A great start to an architect's brief if you're building a children's centre. And the next bit was to talk to the kids. It's amazing what's created with a pile of clean junk, some paper and crayons or felts, and you ask children to build something they want to stay in, you get a lot of spaceships. But some common themes emerged, and I'm delighted that I can recognise those themes throughout the building today. The brief was pretty high level, the specifics were quite easy. 20 beds, cost efficient, that was pretty much it. But around that, we wanted a building that expressed that vision, that invited the children in from the car park, that they couldn't wait to get out of the car. That view belonged to the children, opened it up to them. If a child decided to give the building a kick, we wanted the building to give them a kick back. This needed to be a building where children couldn't become lost, either physically or emotionally. In these sorts of projects, we tend to focus on functionality and physical safety, but crucially, emotional safety was just as important. I acknowledge Jane Swinard, who consulted with us on the interior design, and Jenny Moore, who designed the landscaping, crucial parts to the whole picture you see before you. The result of the board's decision and the collective work of so many people now stands before you. It is stunning. Ross and Braden, all those conversations, all those meetings, the 5-minute catch-ups, the 2-minute phone calls, the 10-second disagreements. I know I speak on behalf of us all when I say that we will miss those, with the possible exception of the meetings. To Sean, Christine and Ryan from City Care, we already miss you. In parallel to the rebuild, we also embarked on developing a truly child-centred way of working and to understand the purpose of Cholmondeley and what it was achieving. Our vision led to the development of our philosophy of care, which is entrenched in child rights, and in the use of the principles of social pedagogy that would determine the standards of practice from here on in. While Kerry is correct in that we have been in survival mode, in this regard we thrived thanks to the vision of the lead architect of our program, Edwina Poynton, and its implementation by our people. And now we have a purpose-built building to continue developing it in and to take us forward. We have been somewhat strategically parked for the past 4.5 years while we have been preoccupied with rebuilding and assisting as many children and families as we could with the challenges we had and they had, many as a result of the earthquakes. In my view, those challenges have and are being met, and I give a huge vote of thanks to all our team for what they are achieving in this. Our sector is moving quickly, and we are a rather coiled spring, in good position to now contribute to developments that are occurring, such as the Children's Action Plan, the Community Investment Approach, and the recent review of Child, Youth and Family, the latter of which this organisation regards as very positive for those children who are most vulnerable and are a significant part of our work here at Cholmondeley. Come Monday, we will release the spring. I endorse and awhi all the thanks that Kerry has given and also offer my thanks. The last 4 years has been a wonderful collaborative effort involving many, many people towards a massive undertaking for a small, not-for-profit organisation. However, as CEO, there are 2 groups of people, amongst all others, I acknowledge with the limited time. The first is our board, who have contributed countless voluntary hours on top of their other commitments, and in particular, Board President Kerry Delica. His leadership of the fundraising effort and support of me as CEO has been critical to our success. And secondly, to our staff. The last 4 years has not been easy, and there have been many challenges, but I can confidently say that their commitment to the children never wavered despite those challenges. To all of our staff who contributed to those 4 years, some who are no longer with us, I say a heartfelt thank you. To our people who are here today, great job, thank you. To all who contributed to this moment directly or indirectly in small or not so small ways, I say thank you. What an incredible journey, and we are here. To conclude, a well-known whakatauki that reminds me of the dawn chorus here in Governor's Bay. And it takes us to the heart of the matter. Hutia te ritu o te harakiki, ka hiara te komako e ko. Ki mai ki ahau, he aha te mea nui o te ao. Māku e ki atu, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. If you were to pluck out the centre of the flax bush, where would the bellbirds sing? If you were to ask me what is the most important thing in the world, I would reply, it is people, people, people. Right, what's next? Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
Thank you very much, Shane. Now it's my pleasure to introduce 2 of our girls who stay with us, Giovanna and Ayana.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora! Oh, you lovely gentlemen and ladies. Oh. Ko Giovanna aho. Hello, my name is Giovanna and I'm 11. Coming to Cholmondeley has been like my second home to me. The staff and kids I stay with are like my extended family. And I have made many, many close friends and amazing memories. I always have fun at Cholmondeley. There is plenty of things to do that I don't have a favourite activity. When I come to Cholmondeley, I am always looking forward to Chef Carol's food. Thanks, Chef Carol, for your tūmiki kai. #awesome. I think Cholmondeley is most about is the environment and the people. The staff are always encouraging others to go further and make your dreams come true. Being chosen to open the new Cholmondeley is a big privilege to me. And I am very excited to be part of the new chapter for the children of the future. Thank you.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko takitimu te waka, ko auraki te maunga, ko waitaki te awa. Ko naitahu te iwi, ko Ayana aho. Good afternoon, my name's Ayana. Cholmondeley has been a part of my sisters and my journey for 4 years now and has been a great highlight to our weekends when we go. For the past 18 months I have been a junior leader here and have been able to experience both sides of what happens here, being here as a child and being here to help out the staff. Since staying at Cholmondeley, me and my sister have become more confident in the things we do, in particular music for me. I have gained the courage to take part willingly in new activities. Coming to Cholmondeley has given us more opportunities we would not have got to experience at home. Cholmondeley is the only centre of its kind in New Zealand, and Canterbury children are privileged to have it here in their backyard. No family is perfect, and all families experience a normal stress on life, and some families experience more challenging and debilitating circumstances. Cholmondeley is there when all of those families are in need of a break from some of the stress, or if the family is experiencing a crisis situation. This provides those children with a break from the struggles, and a place where they can just be kids. Since 1925, Cholmondeley has had an impact on over 25,000 children, even if they only stayed one weekend. Cholmondeley is a home away from home for many of these children. For some children, we are one big family. We are there for them when they are in need, every child is included, and they are not judged based on their family situations. Cholmondeley provides the children with full care, and when they're here, they take part in activities that build on their strengths and weaknesses. While I have attended Cholmondeley, I have made many friends and helped others make friends. Making friendships at Cholmondeley is a big part of what we do and is a great experience because you hope that next time you come and stay, they're here staying too. Cholmondeley is a place for the children to come and have fun. One thing we won't miss about Bellbird Heights is a big hill from the car park up to the home. While at Bellbird Heights we were able to use some of the facilities Living Springs had, meaning we're able to experience even more things like using a bouldering wall and the balance bikes, which not many of us had done before. Although we will miss using the facilities that Living Springs had to offer us, we're glad to be back home here in Governor's Bay. The site has been home of Cholmondeley for 90 years now, and we hope it will be the site for another 90 years and more. Cholmondeley provides the children with opportunities and experiences they might not have at home. Sometimes the children get to experience fishing, kayaking and rock climbing when they stay. With the new children's kitchen, even more children will get the opportunity to help cook dinner and make some baking to share with the other children. The international volunteers that come and help at Cholmondeley are from many countries around the world. They bring with them many languages and traditions that are sometimes used here. The children also get to learn about the culture and traditions of some of the countries. They sometimes learn the phrases in different languages too. This is an opportunity that some children cannot be offered at home or school. The staff we have here are so caring, happy, supportive, and always sure that we have positive and great experiences with them. Over the time the children spend here, the staff get to learn more about them, and the staff may begin to notice changes in the children. They may then talk to the children what is happening at home, which may be good for some of the children to have a listening ear when they need it. The staff are always here if we need a chat or to voice any concerns we may have, which give us the confidence and knowledge that our best interests are their priority. Here at Cholmondeley, the children are at the centre of everything we do. We are focused on the children and their well-being even when they are not staying with us. This building has been purposely designed and built for the children, meaning that all facilities are easily accessible for the children to use. The activities are planned based around what children like to do and is something the children will find interesting and exciting. Cholmondeley has made a great difference to my family and many other families. With the opening of this new building, many families and children will get to have the experience that the families who have come in during the past 90 years have had. May this building be here for another 90 years and more, and the legacy of Margaret and Hugh Heber Cholmondeley live on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, girls. Well done. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Prime Minister. Thank you.
Kia ora tātou, rauranga te rama, tēnei aki mihi mo te ka wanatanga na henara, kia ora hui hui tātou katoa. Can I just begin by acknowledging a few of the dignitaries that are here today, the Speaker of the House, David Carter. Can I acknowledge Nook, who was a Cholmondeley kid himself and obviously involved with Cholmondeley for a very long period of time before he came into Parliament. Ruth, can I acknowledge you? Obviously, Kerry, you and the board and the great work that you do, and Shane, obviously, for running the organisation. One of the great things about going overseas is you get to come home. And you don't need to go to Iraq to come back to New Zealand to realise what an amazing country New Zealand is, but it's an interesting contrast. And as I stand here today in Governor's Bay at this amazing facility of Cholmondeley's Children's Centre, you get to realise that New Zealand's everything that Iraq is not. We just have a beautiful physical environment, and on top of that we have, I believe, just created an opportunity for some young people that's been going on now since 1925. And we have the resources that the people of Iraq don't for their people to apply in the way that's happening here. So you come back and you really appreciate what an amazing country it is. And not every child in New Zealand is going to have exactly the same set of circumstances, exactly the same upbringing, exactly the same opportunity. And I thought our young speakers did a magnificent job of just sort of outlining that every family is a bit different, every circumstances are a bit different. So since 1925, Cholmondeley's been in a position for those youngsters and for those families to provide an opportunity for them to go to a very special place where they can enjoy each other's company, where they can learn a different set of skills, where they can feel obviously very much loved and can see a future for themselves. And it's no surprise that we've had some fantastic people over the years both giving donations to Cholmondeley and being prepared to act in an executive role for Cholmondeley because it reflects what an incredible organisation it is and how necessary it is. Obviously, the donations have come from far and wide. Much has been spoken of the Smith family and Cyril. Obviously, I want to take a moment just to acknowledge that. It's an incredible donation. And it's very important for this organisation actually that it isn't, as part of the rebuild, encumbered with debt that would take away from its operating budgets over the years. So it's been an amazing thing. We just want to acknowledge Cyril and the family for the donation that came there. I was part of the I suppose inspiration, if you like, for want of a better term, to set up the Prime Minister's Earthquake Appeal Trust. And the reason I did that was that I knew that there would be a great many people around the world actually, and certainly around New Zealand, but around the world, that would have had a connection with New Zealand and been prepared to give a donation because they just believed in Christchurch and the future of this place, and in no other way could make a contribution to the rebuild of Christchurch. And of course, so many things were always going to be covered either by the government's contribution or through insurance or whatever it might be. But there are always some things that sort of slip between the cracks and are immensely important. So as part of that process, we raised $100 million, and the fact that $500,000 donation's gone to Cholmondeley's is, I think, actually vindication that we did the right thing actually, because it's such a worthy cause and such a worthy entity, and it's great that we were able to do that. But I do want to acknowledge all the donors who give, not only just in terms of rebuilding and building the new facility we have here, but on an ongoing basis do that. I just want to acknowledge everyone that works here and makes the place such a great place to be. nothing's more precious really than a youngster. And in New Zealand, I think we do the best job we can as a country to raise our children. But it's not just the responsibility of parents to do that. We have a responsibility as a community and as a society to give kids support and help, especially when they're most vulnerable. And between the ages 3 and 12 as they are when they come to Cholmondeley, they're not necessarily in a position to do those things for themselves. Actually, they rely on the goodwill and support of others. And that's what Cholmondeley's all about. It's about a special place that they can go to, a place where they can feel safe, a place that they want to come to, and a place that when they leave, they've benefited from that experience. The fact that people come and come hundreds of times is living proof that you're doing an outstanding job. It's one thing to provide the bricks and mortar of the facility. It's another thing to actually want to have the youngsters to come back. And the fact that they want to come back is living proof that you're doing something truly remarkable. I think it was either Kerry or Shane pointed out, it might have been Anna, that there's no other place actually in New Zealand like this, and that's absolutely true. So it's something unique that's been created here in Governor's Bay, and it's a wonderful thing that you've managed to continue it. So I was last here in 2008. It's stating blindly obvious. It's changed a bit since then. So looking forward to having a good look around, but just want to thank you for what you do. There's no question that the lives of people are transformed by the fact that they have an opportunity to come here. And you can see from Nook's own experience that as a young boy, he was here. In adult life, he's wanted to repay that by being involved, and he's taken those skills on to become a Member of Parliament. And I think that says it all. If we invest in our young people, we get the returns, and you're doing just that. So thank you for having me here.
Thanks very much, Prime Minister. Now, Giovanna and Ayana, if you'd like to come up, and I think you've got a special thing to help the Prime Minister with. Thank you.
Trusted assistants.
Yes.
Hello. How are you going? Great speech. Well done. Congratulations. Spoke very beautifully. Okay, shall we go? What are we going to do? You want to give me a hand? Okay, that one? Okay, good thing you're here. You know what you're doing. Okay. Does it look cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Okay.
Thank you very much. It's a gift.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. Thanks very much. Shall I open? It's nice, isn't it? It's good.
Oh.
Good bed? But it's cool, isn't it? Good bed, put on. Maybe you should hold that for me for a second. Good. Thank you. How's school going?
Good.
You want to hold that in a moment?
Good. We're such a good meal.
Okay. It's hot, eh?
Oh, it's hot.
Mm. Okay.
Oh, thanks for the Prime Minister.
Okay, thank you very much. Cool.
Thank you.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. This is an unscheduled sentence. I live over the road and have done for 20 odd years, so I've watched with a lot of interest and care the work that's done here. And I'm full of admiration, and I'm sure I speak for all our neighbours too, that about the way everything has been gone about for this day. They've been remarkable how well organised they've been, and I doubt if very many of us have had a word to complain of. And now I've been asked to close the meeting with a moment of quiet. Please take a moment just to reflect on all we've seen and heard. Let's give thanks for the beauty of this spot, the harbour, the hills, the sea and the birds. Let's give thanks for the founding of this home and all who've served faithfully here over the decades. Let's give thanks for the strong tradition of compassion and care and the wise concern for all the children and families who have been supported in their lives. Let's give thanks for our own homes, where we have learned to love and to be loved. And let's remember those whose homes are sad and torn, and for all those who wander the earth homeless and unwanted. Let's give thanks for all who've worked with imagination and energy to rebuild Cholmondeley, for so many men and women who have laboured to renew it as a happy and welcoming place. God of all love and beauty and truth, may all that's good and true and beautiful continue over the years to flourish here and wherever there is need. Peace be upon this house, and blessing on all who come and go from here. And the peace of God be upon us all. Amen. Kia ora tātou.
And thank you. Now, closing karakia from Riki Pitama.
Oh, kia ora everyone. My particularly major job today is to link those of you who came to the whakatūwheretanga this morning to the presentation today, to the mihi, to the greetings, and to the remembrances of all those who have passed on. So what I'll do is I remember teaching you guys a thing for a woman and a thing for, do you all remember, men and women? Oh, or are you pretending that you've forgotten? You're not very good All Blacks, you know. So ladies, you got remember the part you got to do. Tuturua whiti whakamaua kia tina, and the ladies say, tina, and the men go, home here, hui here, daiki here, guys. So we've got to do it. Let's try this for a goodbye and a good having a good day. Let's do it this once and remember today. And thanks very much for this occasion. Okay, ladies, remember you're first. You get the privilege of doing it first. So, you know, let's see how you go. You get one chance or you get two chances at it. It just depends on how good you guys are. Tūtirua whiti aka maua kia tina. Home here, hui yeah. Better ladies, a lot better. We'll try it again. Come on, guys, you got to come back with it. It's supposed to be together, all right? Hei whakamauana. Hei getting hui rā. So we've got to get together. Tūtirua whiti whakamaua kia tina. Tina. Home here, hui 2 out of 4. Kia ora.
Thanks for that, Ricky. Look, that ends the formal part of the festivities for today. Thank you very much for your attendance and support. You're welcome to join us for afternoon tea, which I think will be served or start in about 10 minutes' time. And you're also welcome to wander around the new centre to have a look, or I think there'll be staff showing groups through to explain what the various parts of the centre are all about as well. Before you go, when you eventually go, please feel free to sign the visitors book. This is quite cool. In the reception area when you go out is the original visitors book from 1925, and it has the people who signed in and out at the original opening on the site back in 1925. It also has the attendees from other significant events in the history of the organisation as well. For example, the opening of the Lockie Griffin Centre here behind me has the list of attendees there. So this is your chance to be part of history and to have your name down there for posterity. So please sign the visitors book before you go. The buses back to Allendale will be running from about 2:45 for those of you that want to get away sooner rather than later. So in about quarter of an hour, the buses will start running back to Allendale. The last bus back to Allendale is at 3:30. So if you need the bus, 3:30 is the last one. So thank you all very much for your attendance and your support on this wonderful occasion. Have a safe journey home. Thank you very much.
Well, you got the